Um, good morning. Again, this is June 5th, year 2019. This is Mijanur Rahman and Mijanur Rahman from Toronto. This is the video number 7 continuation. I had for some reason the storage I actually ran out of storage on my on the device, but anyway. So this is the continuation of video 7, June 7th, June. This is the continuation of video 7. June today is June 5th, year 2019, and this is Mijanur Rahman from Toronto. So I left up with a point number safety check before you want to take off your business, going through financing process and so forth, going to taking the business to the next level. You want to make, as a business, you want to make sure that you have done all those safety checks before you incur any cost, right? So you also want to make sure that whether you have any the management team that you have on board, whether they are expired, whether they are provided incentives. That was the number 13, and number 14 would be whether you have a board of directors in place. And if you have a board of directors in place, then you want to make sure that those board of directors they have a governing, but let's not talk about the corporate governance legal side of it, but you want to make sure that you have a board of directors in place, and your lawyer probably can help you with the corporate governing and how to structure the board of directors. Also your accountant, it's not that complex. You should be able to have a board of directors for your business, right? So often I think when you register your business, they also want to know how many directors you would have on your business, right? So that's something that you want to look into it. And then you would have honorary board of directors in your business. So that's something that you want to find out, whether you have any honorary directors, board of directors, or whether you are allied with whether you have any political views. So number 15, do you have honorary political leaders on board as a board of directors? Often you might want to have a board of directors that is actually honorary, and they come from political background to give you boost with the local politics, and save you some, get some support from the local politics, local or international, or the region, wherever you are. You have the ability to network with the politicians or leaders, local leaders, or national or international, wherever the business is, right? So you want to have that ability to do so. So again, you would have to evaluate the pros and cons having a politically influenced individual on your team as a board of directors. So that's something that you want to take a look at it. Number 16, which is the company, whether you are allied with any particular political views. So sometimes you'll see in North America there are different kinds of politics, right? Some of them are left, some of them are right, some of them are balanced, some of them are in between. And then if you go to some other parts of the world where there is a communism and so forth, so you would have democratic countries, you would have communities, different kind of politics, and then you would have monarchies and so forth, right? So and then you might have tyrants or dictatorships, some countries, right? You might want to run, it is very normal for a global business to run across all kind of politics, and something they would have to address, that something they would have to take under consideration, because they are the most victim of a political unrest. A global company is often big victim of a political unrest. At the same time, they have the ability to take advantage of the political unrest. So depending on how you take it, how you structure your political allies, how do you go about it? That's something that you want to take a look at it. A lot of incentives a large business, a global business, could take from political unrest. So let's not take at the lemon, let's also take a look at the lemonade as well. So often the lemonade is more tastier, and it's also healthier as well. So something that you do want to take a look at it, how a global company could take advantage from the political unrest. So that is something that you really want to take a look at it. that, and how do you go about maintaining that alliance with your political views, right? So often this could bring also hazard, also could put you into a lot of litigation process, a lot of favoritism, and a lot of legal issues. So that's something that you want to look into it. Secondly, whether you want to find out whether your business risk, the sectors where your business risk drives from, if you have business risks, whether those business risks where those business risks drives from. That's something that you do want to take a look into it. So that's something that's very important for us to know. How to address business risk. That is very, very important for us to know, and for any business owners to know how to address the business risk. Number 18 would be accounting policies. Remember, I said the accounting policies are very, very important. It could make it could make choosing the wrong kind of accounting policies could probably look your financial status very poor. So you want to be balanced. You want to make sure that you want to make sure that your accounting policy is appropriate to the industry where you are, whether you have a set accounting standard. That's something that you also want to take a look at it. So your accounting policy must reflect the standard, the industry standard, all the others they're following, and at the same time you want to make sure that you follow right kind of accounting policy. You don't want to overstate your accounting statements or produce an understated accounting statements or accounting profit or accounting revenues. So you want to make sure that your revenue recognition, the expense recognitions are correct. You want to make sure that if you're into mining industry, you want to make sure that whether you have a policy that is associated with the mining industry is very different. Let's not talk about mining industry. The technology industry, each industry, their accounting policy is very, 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 very different. They have niche market. They have very, very sophisticated recognition criteria. They're very sensitive to various risks. They're sensitive to various parameters of economics, so you do want to make sure that your accounting policies are properly chosen. You don't want to find yourself overstatement when you're really not profitable. At the same time, it kind of gives the wrong signals to the investors, and obviously when a big large investor buys your investment, they want to get a second opinion from someone whether you're really profitable what you're saying. So that could actually adversely affect your stock price should you ever decide to go public, right? So that's something that you want to take a look at. It's the market psychology, how people think. Many years ago, I come across this thought is that how people really perceive me, right? So, my attire, something that is very important for us to know. Now, often it is very important to understand how people perceive us, right? Now, as a person, we get liked by other individuals because of our manners, our behaviors, our attires, our customs and values. So is the corporations. They're carefully analyzed based on the accounting statements, accounting policies, based on the financial statements, financial policies, based on the corporate cultures they adopt. It's very important that you understand that how they're socially again. So you want to make sure that your revenue recognition and the matching policies are properly addressed. And again, I talked about the 20, which is your tax liabilities, tax payables, whether they're up to date, whether they're recognized correctly. It really doesn't affect much, but I would like to take a look at whether it's kind of red signals for a corporation falling behind on a tax tax liabilities and tax payments and tax payable. That's something that gives some sort of signals on the how the business is affected, whether they're effectively managed or not. But you might have litigations, you might have a different opinion, you might have a dispute, which is fine. But you could read the notice disclosure on that. That's perfectly fine. And then whether you want to make sure that whether your tax payables are overstated or understated. That's something that you want to take. Again, this is very important. That's why the accounting revenues, accounting profit are very important. This number could actually, you'd have to take it, don't quote me on it, but this number could probably deviate and kind of change based on the accounting profit. So the accounting policy that you choose. So the tax payable, not tax expense, but rather the tax payable, tax assets, tax liabilities. This number actually interchanges. So based on the accounting policies and the recognition criteria. So you want to make sure that you have the perfect accounting policies for you, for your corporations, for your business. And then you want to make sure that number 22, whether you have any discontinued operation and whether you want to keep the discontinued operation or completely get rid of that. So that's why often as a business owner, as a professional, as a financial, coming from the financial side of it, I want to see my EPS, earnings per share, above the line. So where the earnings per share from the operation, I'm not so concerned of I do concern about the diluted EPS, but I want to make sure that my earnings from the operations are positive. This is where a lot of investors, they do focus on the earnings from the operations, whether that is positive or negative, whether not negative, what kind of earnings that you have from the operation, whether that is sustainable over the long run. That's something that take a look at it, which is number 22. Actually, the number 22 is the discontinued operation. Number 23, which is what your EPS looks like above the line, which is the EPS from the from the operations. And so the point number 24, where there's how much shares is outstanding and how much is authorized. There's something that you and your corporations want to take a look at it, how much shares that is outstanding and how much shares are authorized from your business or the so this is something that gives you some sort of signals whether how to price your stocks, whether that will affect your EPS or not, right? This is a strategic point of view that a lot of underwriters do want to take a look into that, how much debts you can take on, whether the debt or the financing, that whatever you want to take on the stocks, whether that would have any, how would they affect the ratios, how the market will perceive that. Let's talk about that another time rather than talking about today, because it's really another topic by itself. So number 25 is very, very important. I actually suffered. You want to make sure that you have a right legal teams on your side. My corporations, often you want to make sure that you have the right type of legal teams on your side. It is very, very important to have the right type of lawyers. And you also want to make sure that they do provide you advice. And often you want to make sure that if they're not providing you advice, then it's a good idea to retain a different lawyer that provides you a timely manner, updates you in a timely manner, provides you advice, provides you different kind of solutions, provides you and keeps you legal. Keeping business legal is very, very important. Conducting business in a legal way, the most efficient way. You want to keep your business legally and ethically as compliant as possible, because that's where the most important part after the accounting policy, after the financial side. And in fact, if you're not keeping your business legal, then you might run into a legal problem. You don't want that, right? You want to be compliant at all time. So that's why it's very important to have a good legal teams on your side. And they are providing advice, they're reporting you, they're giving you suggestions how to conduct your business effectively and ethically and legally. Number 26, which is the relationship with the regulators, if your business is regulated.